I have, I would say a cup, but it's more like a bucket. Look how big that is. A giant cup of Earl Grey. And I'm going to sip at this and have a little chat with you all. The topic that I wanted to talk about today is something a little bit more personal, and usually I don't talk about things like this on my channel, but I wanted to film a cup of tea talks video really badly because I just felt like sitting down in front of my camera and just having a little chat and having a cup of tea and talking about things that are on my mind at the moment. As I said in my last video, I'm going to be going to Sardinia very soon. I'm going to be vlogging the whole thing. I'm so excited. But I wanted to talk about anxiety. I have anxiety. It's something that I've had for years and I've learned to like cope with, and it's very common. So many people that I know have anxiety and suffer with panic attacks. I wanted to make this video kind of talking about that. So this video is going to kind of be I wouldn't say tips for travelling with anxiety, because that sounds like tips for packing your bag, which I'm also going to be doing a packing video soon if anyone's interested. I'm just waiting for a few more bits to come in the post. I'm actually leaving in a few days, so I'm hoping that everything arrives on time, and then I'm going to do a packing video, so expect that either before this video, you've already seen it, or it's going to be up after this video most likely. But today I wanted to talk about travelling and anxiety. When I tend to go travelling, when I go to an airport, I get really bad anxiety from when I wake up that day. To the point where the plane is up in the air, I get really bad anxiety getting on public transport, and I've had many a panic attack on a bus. But for some reason, when I'm up in the air on a plane, my brain's okay with that, but for some reason, if I get on a bus or something like that, like public transport generally, I'm not so easy about getting onto it. From when I wake up, I will feel like, I don't know if anyone else gets this exact feeling, but it's really odd. It feels like my stomach is like vibrating. Everything about my body just feels uneasy, and I just feel like the sooner I get everything over with and I'm there, the better. So something that I really like to do when I get up in the morning is I will have some coffee that is decaf coffee, or I will have a cup of tea, because there's not as much caffeine in tea as there is in coffee. And something that can make my anxiety way worse when I'm travelling especially is if I wake up and if this cup was, for example, full of coffee, that would be the worst thing ever, because it gives me a really painful stomach and it just makes me feel very like on edge. So if you do also suffer with anxiety, or you do get panic attacks when you travel and things like that, I would definitely say just cut out caffeine for that day, or have very low amounts of it. Don't get to the airport and before you get on the flight like down like a cappuccino or something. Like, just try and keep your caffeine very low for the day before that you travel, and then the day that you travel, and everything will feel a lot better. That's something that I've found anyway, and a few of my friends who also suffer with anxiety have told me that they feel a lot better when they cut caffeine out. So that's one thing to kind of do to make yourself possibly feel better if you do suffer with anxiety, and especially around travelling. You're going to be going from place to place, you don't want to be feeling sick all the time. Another thing that I like to do when I'm travelling is, if I have a giant bag with all my stuff in, it kind of stresses me out to be bringing so many things, because there's not enough room to take anything back, and I like to know where everything is so I know that I'm not missing anything. So try and limit yourself to what you let yourself take. When I go away, I like to just bring a cabin bag, because also it's cheaper. You don't have to pay extra to put your luggage in hold. Most flights will let you take like a little handbag or a mini backpack or something to kind of have with you on the flight, and you don't have to put it in that overhead thing. So in that, I tend to keep things that I might need that will kind of assure me that nothing is going to go wrong. So I like to keep things like a book to keep myself distracted. You can use anything to keep yourself distracted. If you like to play games, like keep like a little Nintendo in there, or maybe keep a notepad. Something that I find to be so helpful with my anxiety is journaling and noting down important things. So I just have a little book, it's got little cats on, it's really cute, and I like to write down the address of the place that I'm going to in case it's on my phone and then my phone dies. I like to write down places that I would like to go when I get there. I like to write down notes about taxis and public transport, anything that I might need to know from the time that I get from the airport to my Airbnb. I might write down some common phrases that will help people understand me, because I'm so bad at languages. It's better than not knowing what to say at all, especially if your phone dies. It's not very likely that that's going to happen. The more I have prepared, the better. Also on the day, if you feel like, I always get the feeling that I'm going to leave something behind, and even though I've double checked my suitcase like 10 times over in the previous few days since I packed it, I like to take everything out and just be kind to yourself. And if you feel like you need to check everything over once more, don't feel like silly about it or anything like that. Like, take everything out, lay it out, make sure that you have everything that you need, everything that is like in order, all your electricals are wrapped up in that kind of thing, and then you'll feel a lot calmer versus walking out the door and thinking, did I bring that back from like the laundry pile? Did I put that in my bag? You'll feel like so much better just knowing that everything is in order and you're fully prepared. And yeah, it just makes me feel like so much better doing that. Another thing which might sound really silly, but if you get anxiety around these kind of things, you'll understand completely. But I always like panic that I have left my straighteners on or my curlers on, or something is going to be left plugged in and it's going to like set my house on fire, or something ridiculous that is not going to happen. If you feel like this, especially when you're going away, like if you just pop into the shops, I can usually deal with this because I'll think, I'll get home way before anything bad will happen if I have left these things on. But if you're going on like on a holiday to another country, I'd like to know that everything in my house that needs to be turned off is turned off. So I will take a photo of the plug socket so that your phone has the little time that the photo was taken, so you can be pretty certain in your mind that you did turn these things off. So if I've straightened my hair in the morning for the flight, I'll make sure that I've turned it off by taking a photo of the plug socket, which has the little time thing in the corner of the photo, and then I'm like, right, it's turned off, I don't need to worry about that. That's one less thing that needs to be on my mind right now. And then if you do feel like maybe I did leave something on, if you have styled your hair with like hot tools that morning or something, you can check the photo and you can be sure in your mind that you didn't leave it on. Another thing that I would definitely recommend is to make sure that you have a bottle of water on hand, because if my anxiety is super bad one day and I feel like my heart's racing, I just feel like very hot and flustered and like everything is a bit too close and everything's a bit too loud, something that will calm me down is just drinking water, which sounds so simple, but if you're drinking like fizzy drinks or things with a lot of sugar or caffeine, that can kind of make your mind race and make you feel more sick and more like I don't even know what the words are. It just makes me feel a lot worse. It worsens my anxiety if I'm drinking things with a lot of caffeine in, a lot of sugar. So make sure that you buy a bottle of water at the airport, or if you don't want to buy a bottle of water at the airport, bring an empty bottle through security and then fill it up if the airport has a water fountain, which I think most of them should do, because at airports the water costs so much money, it's mental, but I always forget to bring an empty bottle and then I'll end up buying one. But anyway, make sure that you have some water. The thing that I do personally is whoever I'm travelling with, I don't really like go anywhere with people that I'm not comfortable with anyway, but whoever you're travelling with, they're going to be someone that you can talk to. I go on a lot of like travels and a lot of holidays with my boyfriend, and I don't really go anywhere far from home with people that I'm not 100% like trusting them, if that makes sense. Like people that I feel 100% safe around, I wouldn't go places with, because it would just freak me out too much if I don't know people well enough. But whoever you're travelling with, I'm sure that there's someone that you can put your trust in and talk to. So on the day that you're going, if you get to the airport, you're on the way there, or you're even on the plane, or whatever point you feel just everything's a bit much, you can just say to them, look, I want to go off into like a quieter place and just sit and breathe and drink my water. Or maybe bring like one of those adult colouring books. I love those. They're really, really good, really like fun to do, and get them to do something with you that's gonna relax your mind a little bit and help you to calm down, because talking to people always does make it better. When I first realised that what I had was anxiety, I talked to my best friend, who is my god sister, which means that basically each of our parents are our godparents, if that makes sense. So her parents are my godparents and my parents are her godparents. When I first realised that what I had might be anxiety, I started talking to my best friend and saying, I don't know who else I can really talk to about this because I feel like I'm going a little bit crazy, and these are the things that have been happening and this is how I'm feeling. And she just explained to me that she also has anxiety. I'm not going to say her name because I feel like that is a little bit I don't know, I don't want to say her name on my channel because I'm talking about something quite personal here, but she also told me that she has anxiety and this is how she deals with it, and helped me with doctor's appointments and all that kind of thing. So talking to someone when you do have anxiety will make everything feel so much better because you don't feel like it's so much of a secret anymore. Just be honest with yourself and you'll start to feel a little bit better. Write down how you're feeling about things. The last thing is wear things that you're comfortable in and that have kind of like a loose baggy fit, like a t-shirt or maybe some leggings or some comfy shorts when you're traveling, because that will make you feel 10 times better. Hopefully this video can help someone, and let me know your comments down below on what helps you and if you have any tips kind of thing with travelling and anxiety, because it can be quite an anxious time. I barely drank any of this because I've been talking so much. Oh, I'm gonna put down my bucket of tea. I hope that this video helps someone. Thank you for watching and I will see you again soon in another video.